Tonight we pray completely. Shelter us with love so sweetly. Tonight, please fight the dangers from our eyes. Please, God, protect me from לקראת קלה, פני שבת
ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest days, be the light. Be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you are darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. If we come close together, we will see a people strong, a shared humanity. To transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of fight, we shine. We shine. Be the light. Be the light inside the darkness. Be the hope, burning bright into the night. Be the voice, for those who cannot raise it. Be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest day. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light.
waiting away. Just call right out, we'll find a way. From the narrow place to a wide open space. From the narrow place to a wide open. From the narrow place to a wide open Min habitzar karatia. Min habitzar karatia. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is, I'm going to call this old school pandemic Shabbat.
That means it's just the two of us in here.
Just the two of us and Daniel, like it had been for the first year and a half of the pandemic. Happy Pesach to you. I hope that you're getting ready to do your Passover Seders, and we're just doing a service so people can say Kaddish, people can bring themselves into Shabbat. We'll begin with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla.
So we have begun by bringing the music of Shabbat into the room, and now we need to bring the light of Shabbat into the room and the light of Pesach as we turn to the lighting of the candles.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, של שבת ושל יום טוב.
As we move from the light of Shabbat entering into the room, and the music has started to fill the space, and we're really bringing that mood of Shabbat into our lives, let's go through our week. Let's go through the week. There was a lot of cleaning this week, I'm sure. But you could also think of it as preparing your home for the holiday. So let us go back through our week, remembering the things we want to keep with us, leaving behind those things that we need to leave behind this week, and enter into Shabbat with love in our hearts, with peace and stillness in our minds. Chazarat HaShavua, a review of the week. We turn now to the Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Body or spirit. We turn now to the prayer that says there is a oneness that ties us all together. We sing Shema, these 6 words that acknowledge that unique oneness. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Tonight we're going to be reading about the, not tuning, but we're going to be reading about the story of our people Ooh, so sorry. The story of our people coming out of Egypt and becoming free, and there was really one moment when that absolutely happens, and that's when the Israelites go across the Sea of Reeds, get to the other side, and sing this song of freedom.
This one?
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo rosh efele, norati lo rosh efele. Yappa, yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba ba bim bam, yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba ba bim bam, yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba ba bim bam, yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba ba bim bam.
As we move from freedom, we move to a different kind of freedom, and that's the freedom of our mind to be able to go where it needs to go at this time. As we move to our silent Amidah, we rise together in body or spirit, and we sing these first lines which say, hopefully, whatever is in my heart can come out, and I can sing the praises and the gratitude of being here.
Adonai tzvatai tivta, Adonai tzvatai tivta, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid
Our thoughts now turn to those people that we're thinking of. They're in our hearts. They're in our minds because they're in need of healing. This list has gotten very long over the last 2 years. There are so many people that need help and need our energy. So we'll join together for Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimoteinu. Gave us swords of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Linda Barad, Shirley Block, Jean-Claude Berthet, Shalom Bloomstein, Bernard Birnbaum, Eitan Chaim, Woody Clark, Joseph Cohen, Pearl Councilbaum, Tamara Deverell, Norma Glickman, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale and Helene Hale, Lori Haynes, Dora Kamara, Judy Candell, Sis Klein, Russell Kunk, Ira Laufer, Sheila Merowitz, Marissa Batyakov, Reuven, Verivka Adina, Daniel Papp, Ariel Pepper, Rachel Batchana V'chaim, Harava Harona Batzvia V'Yosef, Bud Reinfeld, Warren Roston, Ruth Schwartz, Rhoda Sharp, David Stein, Paul Vielik, Pessel Bat Gittel Ve'ichel, Julie White, Sonia Ann Weggy, Theodore, and Chaya Rachel Bat Carmi Adina.
Misha Berach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Before we continue with the service, I know that many of you might be preparing for your Seder this evening, or you might be having your Seder tomorrow evening. And, you know, there's a tendency to be very afraid of running your own Seder, or feeling the responsibility that you have to do everything for everybody and you have to get it right. And it can be scary, it can be daunting, it could be like going into a wilderness that you're not used to. So many years ago, my brother had these parables that were representing the 4 children, but one of them has a story about being afraid. And it's, this story of this kid who would walk by this kind of field of reeds, and he could not see way inside the reeds. He could see the reeds from the path where he was, but he couldn't really see what was way inside, and he could hear a noise. It was like a type of a noise. And he and his friend would walk through there, and sometimes they'd run through because they'd hear the noise and they'd be so afraid because they were told that that was like a monster that they were hearing. And everyone, said there have been those that have gone into that reed field and they don't come out. And everyone's afraid and no one wants to go there. And one day after school, he and his friend have an idea. And what they do is they take he had one of those little, Boy Scout knives. He takes the knife and he starts walking in and he cuts little marks on some of the reeds so he can find his way back. If he gets in so deep and he gets dark and he can't find his way back, he would kind of cut these marks in these reeds so he could work his way back. And they start going through the field of reeds, and they're going through, it's almost like more like a forest of reeds actually. They're going through and that noise gets louder and louder. Louder and louder as they go through. Finally, they come to a clearing. And there's the most incredible waterfall with a beautiful spring underneath it. And they took off their clothes and they ran into the water. It was very cold, I might add. They ran into the water and they spent the afternoon enjoying the water and being under the waterfall and understanding the beauty that was inside that forest or field of reeds. Well, that's so much like our Seder. Right? We have these things we can count on as we go through to make our way back. And then when we get to the center of the Seder, which is really the Haggadah and the story that we're telling, and each of us relating to that story, we can see that there is incredible beauty in the Haggadah. There's incredible beauty in the Seder. And by the way, incredible beauty with our families all being together, finally, after a couple of years. So if you're afraid of the Seder, and leading it, and the daunting aspects of it, just remember the boy, probably named Shlomo, who went through the field of reeds, that forest of reeds, and found the beauty on the other side. As we move forward now, we're moving to the end of our service, and Kaddish Yatom. And we remember all of those in our congregation have died at this season in years past. But first, we remember those that have died in the last month whose families are observing Shloshim. That's John Gear Levian and Arthur Patrick Nelson Jr. and Clement Franco and Todd Matzner. We also recall Gracia Nachmias and John McCarthy. And if you take a look up on the screen, you'll see the names of those members of our congregation who have died at this season in years past, whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. So we take the names that I've said, and we take all these names that are on this list, people that have been a part of your family, my family, our congregation. And we say Kaddish Yatom for all of those names. And in addition to that, we say it for those that have no one to say it for them. We say it for all those who were lost in the Holocaust, those that have died from COVID-19. And we especially remember those that have been killed in the violence of recent times in Ukraine and in Tel Aviv. And we hope that I never have to say that last part again. Let's rise together. Page 294, if you have a Siddur in front of you. Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, b'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach leolam ul'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May God grant peace to all who mourn, and grant comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. Do we have any announcements?
We do, actually. You know, every Jewish cycle goes by. We'll worry about that after Passover. So now we have to start worrying about things because it's going to almost be after Passover. But first of all, please join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for our Passover festival service. Torah and all, our teaching, everything will be in the service at 10 a.m. We have a little, there we go, Passover Shabbat morning at Temple Emanuel, Day 1 Festival. Fantastic. We have one more Passover announcement, which is that a week from tonight, we have our Passover Shabbat. Really, it's a regular Shabbat service with Yisker, which is a tradition.
Which will be at the
during
end of the
Passover.
service. So probably 6:15 to about 7 will be the service, and then at 7 o'clock, most likely Yisker will begin then.
If you have not discovered tbh.org/toolkit and you have a Seder maybe in 3 days from now and you're freaking out because you are in charge of the Haggadah, please visit that. We don't have a slide for that right now, but tebh.org/toolkit. You will find links to playlists of music we've recorded in the past. You can do our 45-minute service.
Whole
and
complete
just
services, right?
press play. You'll just have to pretend you're in the middle of a pandemic for a little bit.
Exactly.
Then we have, Dan, help me out. Wow, our next Shabbat Unplugged, Sisterhood Shabbat Unplugged, featuring poems, music, and music from the Sisterhood. I am hoping that we are going to have a dinner before that, so watch your emails for that beautiful Shabbat Unplugged honoring the Sisterhood. And then we have
Poker tournament. Join us for that on Sunday, May 15th. It starts at 5. There's food, and it's really a fun event, and you don't have to really know how to play poker to be in it.
Yep.
It's just fun, and it'll be a nice time for us all to come together.
fantastic. And one, I think, do we have one last thing? Oh, yes. So this is a Think About It Thursdays, but it's honoring Yom HaShoah. And we have 3 wonderful board members of the 3G, third generation board of the, they changed their name, Holocaust Museum LA, joining us. So save the date, and that will be archived.
Those are 3G, the grandchildren?
The grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. So I think it'll be quite inspirational. Yeah. We're going to close with
Which
the
one?
other, the Nurit Hirsch one. There we go. No.
Which one?
Oh, say.
Oh, that I actually have the capo on.
All right.
This one's Mi Sinai.
Yeah, I should have just said Mi Sinai.
Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu yatzeh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yatzeh shalom, yatzeh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yatzeh shalom, yatzeh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yatzeh shalom, yatzeh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yatzeh shalom, yatzeh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Baruch atem b'voachem, baruch atem b'tzeitchem. You're blessed as you came into this house. May you be blessed as you go forward. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Chag sameach.
Chag sameach.
And we'll see you soon.